Welcome to this week's Turf Tips from Ohio State University. Hello, I'm Joe Rimmelsbach at Ohio State University in the Department of Plant Pathology. And this week on Turf Tips we have lots going on. As I mentioned last week, with increased temperatures and especially the humidity and rainfall, a lot of fungal diseases have really taken off. I'd like to start with the lawn care side, and I just want to mention that with the variability in rain and rainfall, don't assume anything. Use your soil probe, a knife, a spade, anything you need to check the soil to see what kind of soil moisture you have. In those areas that have gotten a lot of rain, we got a lot of great diseases still active or starting up. First, we have red thread, which if you've had that, and we're seeing it especially on turf that is on the lean side, low fertility. In those areas, oftentimes then dollar spot progresses in. In this area, Brian may show some pictures a little later. We have a lot of dollar spots showing up here at Columbus at the Research Center. Leaf spot continues to crank away and moving down into the crowns, into the melting out stage. One thing I want to mention on the golf course side is that if you have summer patch necrotic ring spot problems, and you really want to manage it with fungicides, you should be putting on your second preventative application, not your first one, your second one. So it's real important to be ahead of the game on that one. Brown patch is starting, especially if you have hot conditions, humid nights, and you have high humidity or irrigation. And another call we're getting a lot of questions on is on mushrooms. We're having abundant mushrooms popping up on lawns. Unfortunately, there's no real material you can use to spray on that or to maintain a control on that chemically. They just have to be, raked off, mowed off, whatever. On the golf side, we mentioned last week anthracnose, and this week, kind of the unusual thing, we had at least one case of anthracnose come in that was actually on bent grass. Another thing we're seeing on greens is many clubs that had club events and they were more aggressive on their mowing or maintenance or lowered their mowing. We're getting samples in, there's no disease, but the leaf tissue is a mess. It's shredded, there's very little left as far as leaf tissue, maybe it's very stubby. And so if you have questions of just thinning or poor quality turf on greens, get a hand lens out and look carefully at the quality of the cut and the surface of the green. Disease-wise, of course, dollar spots cranking up, brown patches moving in, anthracnose, like I mentioned, is going to continue to be a threat. And of course, if it stays hot and humid this week, Pythium could start also being involved. So my words of encouragement to you this week is, number one, don't make assumptions. Make sure you examine the turf, whether it be lawns or greens. Be very thorough on that. And the second thing is, if you have disease or you're prone to disease, a preventive program is highly recommended. So I hope you have a great week.